Hi there everyone, welcome to Pour Painting with Ron. I hope you've been really well since the last time we saw each other. So what's happened since the last time? Well, I've been really busy and I just haven't had any time to paint. Probably the most exciting thing that's happened was my first painting workshop the other weekend. A lovely bunch of ladies come and visit me here in my garage studio, and they created some really interesting ring pour paintings. If you live in southeast Queensland and you'd perhaps like to join one of my pour painting workshops, you can find all of the details on my website, and I've just got the link down below here for you to have a look at. Anyway, end of advertising. What are we going to be painting today? Well, I thought I would continue playing around with the experiment that I tried last time, if you saw that painting, and that was doing a ring pour using my bloom pour ingredients and then swiping over the top and stretching it out. And, well, for the first one, it turned out quite interesting. I thought I'd change a few things around this time. I'll do the same black and white ring pour as my base, but I'll use a different cell activator, different colors, and I thought perhaps I'd spin it out rather than tilt it, see what happens. Anyway, if you're new to the bloom recipe, I won't go through the entire recipe again for you today, but I'll just run through the ingredients briefly, and you feel free to pause the video and copy down the specific amounts that'll pop up on the right hand side of your screen. Well, there are 3 layers to a bloom painting. You need a pillow paint, a pillow layer for your colors to slide on, and this is just plain ordinary acrylic house paint. Now, it doesn't matter what color house paint you use. I'm using white and black today. So this is just a British paint, some low sheen interior acrylic wall paint. You don't need to add anything to it. So I'm using their white and their black. Then on top of that is the color layer. Now the colors should be a nicely pigmented paint. So I'm using Jo Sonia's today. I'm using their ultramarine blue. It's going to be sort of like a rainbowy one. Naphthol crimson. Some aqua. Some, what's this one? Green light. Some yellow light. Some brilliant violet, and that's it. They're the colours. Now the pouring medium that I'm mixing those colours into is a mix of, again, house paint, but this time it's untinted house paint. You can see the amounts on the right there. This is an extra bright untinted house paint. Keeps the colours reasonably true. And I mix that with some polyurethane varnish. So I'm using the Jo Sonia's gloss varnish. And mix those together to the pouring medium, and then you mix the paint in that. And then to create the lovely lacing effects on the top, you need to have a thin mix of Floetrol and paint. Now the best brand of paint to use is the Amsterdam for this. Doesn't matter what colour, you can use any colour Amsterdam paint you like. I'm using today no, not in this one, that's the next one. I'm going to use the black today for my lacing, and I'm mixing that with Australian Floetrol. Creates the lovely lacing effects. Clear as mud? It'll all become clear as we go, I hope. Well, anyway, oh yes, the canvas I'm using today. I'm using this 50 by 60 centimetre thin edge canvas. And as I always do, I've taped off the back with painter's tape and put in some giant push pins to keep it off the surface of my table. And I've made sure it's level as well, so my paint doesn't run off while it's drying. Not a good thing to happen. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you can see that okay. I'll just move my canvas out of the road for a bit. And we'll do our pillow. Now normally if I'm using just one colour, I just pour it out on the canvas and don't measure in particular until I just think I've got enough there. You want enough to flow out nicely over the edges of your canvas when you're stretching everything out. Now because I'm using 2 colours today, I need to pour them into my empty cups here. I'm going to do 2 ring pours using the white and the black house paint, as I said. Now, the black isn't probably as black as artist paint that you'll get, but yeah, it's good enough for this purpose. Okay, now the middle I'd like to have white, so I'll just put in some white. Just pour it down the sides. Like so. I'll keep the layers fairly generous. Now black goes a long way, I found, and the white tends to disappear. So hopefully that's not going to happen today. So I'm just pouring down the side. Until I've used up all my paint. As I said, I haven't mixed anything with it. Just as it comes out the can. Now if you're getting tinted paint, don't let them use that shaker machine they have when they tint the paint, because you'll get a gazillion air bubbles that will never come out. So just get them to put the tint in and then mix it yourself at home, so you don't get the air bubbles. We'll still have some, but yeah, not as many. Now I thought when I do the rings I might wreck them as well by running a skewer through them. I just want a nice pattern of black and white in the background. Almost come to the end. I think I'll get a spoon, just a second, and get the rest out. Waste not, want not. A little bit of black left, may as well use that. It's going to get tipped off the edge. Anyway, I'll keep a little bit just in case. Yeah. Okay, so we've got those ready. Let's put them aside. Bring my canvas back in. Like so. I'll just check to see if you can see it. Oh, yes you can. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to pour out from the same side I poured in. I won't do it fast. It was going to be very black. Oops. I was going to be a bit more careful with my centre. Now be careful to catch any little drips, because a little drip becomes a big one when you stretch it out. I'll do my other ring fairly close. And I'll do some nice gentle little rings in the middle. Catch the drip. Okay, and we'll just center that a bit. Get the weight more in the center. Okay, now I'll just pop some air bubbles. Now I haven't really wrecked a ring pour before with a skewer. So we'll see what happens. I hope I don't really wreck it. I'm just going to run a skewer through it and do some little twirly shapes. So I might start here. Like so. Just clean it off a bit. I won't get too carried away. How's it looking? Okay. Maybe, ooh. No, that'll do. I don't want to overdo it. There's some interesting looking shapes happening in there. Yeah. You want to sort of make sure your paint is in the middle of your canvas, especially if you're going to spin it out. Okay. Now, the colours. I've got my colours in these little squeeze bottles. And as I said, I'm going to be using rainbow colours today. So I've got my purple here. And then I've got my blue. I did shake them before, but I'll give it a bit more of a shake. It'll probably spin out quite nicely as is. But anyway, I'll give this a go. Now, last time I didn't really put that much colour on, so I thought today I might put a little bit more on, because I do like the colour. Okay, and the yellow. Okay. Now where will I put it? That's the question. Maybe a bit in the middle. Perhaps. Oop. A little bit like that. A little bit more. Bit of yellow. I'll do red. Ooh. Then I'll do a bit of green. I hope I don't end up with mud. With mud, it wouldn't be a good look. Blue. That blue. Some purple. Now, I've got my little wall scraper here, and I'll put some of my cell activator on the top. That was the mix of Amsterdam paint and Floetrol. And then I'll dip my smaller palette knife in and spread it out with that. So as you can see, it's quite thin. Some people have it even thinner, but yeah, I like the 1 part paint to 2 parts of the Floetrol. Now, I wasn't going to use white, was I? I was going to use black. I knew I would do that if I had the white sitting there. Take 2. Here's my black that I prepared earlier. Put it on my wall scraper. Here we go. Now, you do want a reasonable coverage on your palette knife, and you want to spread it out across your paint. Where will I go? Ooh, that wasn't too successful. I don't like that up there. I hope that all flies off my canvas. Right, we'll see if we can fix that later. I might put some more yellow here. Oh. And red. Green. Turquoise. Blue. And the purple. Now we'll see how we go with this one. Didn't press hard enough. See if I can fix. Oh well, we'll see what happens there. I'm out of practice. Yellow. Red. Green. Turquoise. Blue. Some purple. was more successful. Where else will I put some? Decisions. Maybe because I don't like that up there, so I might. A bit of yellow there. Red. Green. Blue. And some purple. Now, which direction will I go? Maybe that way, perhaps. I might start from the purple. No. This way. Hopefully that goes off the side. Now I should really have some going up this way as well, perhaps. Maybe. Maybe. Hello. Red. Green. Ooh, what's happened there? Okay. Almost there, I think. Almost, almost, almost. Then I might do one more here. Yellow. Some red. Some green. Turquoise. Yeah. Purple. Yeah, that is still disgusting. But I don't know how I can fix that. Maybe I can put a little bit of red, just the darker colours perhaps. Boom. Ooh, that made it worse. Anyway, I might have to tip that bit off. Yep, can't do anything there. I just wonder, where did I put my skewer? Oh, here. Maybe just put some lines through that. Okay. We'll see what happens. Okay, now to help my paint spin, I'll put some more paint around the edges or the corners. Just to help it get to the corners. Maybe a bit there. Yeah, okay. I haven't done this before, so it's a little bit of messing around. Don't know if I needed to do this, but just in case. Just helps the paint slide a bit. Right, now I'll bring you over to my spinning pool and we'll have a go, see what happens. Alright, so this is my spinning pool. It's just a cheap plastic blow-up pool I got from Kmart. And underneath here I've just put some bricks to lift my spinner off the surface of my pool. I've just got my spinner underneath here. It's just a plastic banding wheel that you use for pottery, and ceramics cost me about $17. It spins really well. Okay, I'll just get my canvas. Ooh, I hope this works. That's a lot of paint on here. Now, let's see where my middle is. Okay. Give it a bit of a spin and see what happens. Okay, losing a lot of paint off that side. So I might tip that this way a bit. Like so. Just help it along a little bit. Didn't particularly like that bit, so I'll just move that over that way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How are we looking? I'm getting closer to the edges. Almost over the edge at the bottom there. How's that looking? Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to stretch it anymore. A few bits I don't really like that I really can't do anything about. This bit up here, can't fix that. And I don't particularly like that bit, but But this bit up here is a bit interesting as well. Still, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'll just let it drip and I'll put it back on the table and I'll bring you in for a closer look. Okay, got the camera above my head and we'll just bring you down. Got some beautiful lacing in this one. As I said, I don't particularly like that spot. But where it worked really well. So, what did you think of that one? Well, I must say it was an interesting experience, but I'm not super thrilled about the overall result. The technique, though, has lots of promise. I just need to practice. Is that perhaps something you'd like to have a go at yourself? Experiment, see what happens. It's half the fun of pour painting, isn't it? Anyway, time for me to clean up now, and unfortunately time for you to go. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video today. If you did, please take a moment to press the like button. Helps my content get found in YouTube land. And if you'd like to see more of my content, please take a moment to subscribe. Well, I hope you have a really good week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. In the meantime, happy painting.